Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Ella and I do videos on Wicca and witchcraft. Firstly, I hope everyone is doing okay. I hope everyone is doing fine considering the situation going on right now. And yeah, I'm sending my love and, you know, all the health to you guys. So hopefully this video can be a little bit of a distraction for everyone. And yeah, let's get right into it. So I have recently thought about some of the things that I consider really important for any Wiccan or witch to know, and that is protection. So this applies for beginners and also advanced. I will briefly give you an explanation of what protection even is, and I will be making this into a mini series. So I will have a playlist on my channel all about protection and the different types of ways that you can protect yourself during your craft. And I will also give an explanation as to why we protect ourselves in Wicca, and specifically Wicca. So this does apply somewhat to regular witchcraft, let's say, but it's predominantly focused on Wicca, as my channel focuses predominantly on Wicca. For this video, as the introduction to this mini-series, I am focusing on how to cast a circle or erect a temple, as you would say in traditional Gardnerian. However, casting a circle is much more common these days, and if you've heard it, then that's probably how you've heard it before. I have previously made a video all about spells and rituals and how to cast a circle, but I feel like I kind of want to go a little bit more in depth for this, and I would also just like that to be a standalone video in itself, just for everyone, so that it's more accessible and easier to find. So let's start with the basics. This specifically applies to you doing spell work or rituals, or perhaps even during meditation you would like to cast a circle around yourself for protection. Later on in the next videos that I will be filming, I will also be discussing how you can protect yourself in, you know, your just daily life. So do keep an eye out for that if that is what you're interested in. But this video is, I think, still relatively helpful and useful and important, especially for someone that maybe is still starting out. And yeah, I also want to mention that I am specifically focusing on protection in this video, not banishing and binding, reflecting any type of energies. This is specifically protection by itself as a standalone type of thing. So this is for you to protect yourself and your space around you. When we think of protection, you kind of have to ask yourself, what are you protecting yourself from? Is there an enemy? You know, is there someone that wants to harm you? Is there something that wants to maybe harm you? Or is it more a protective matter in a sense of general fear, general anxiety? Or perhaps it's better safe than sorry. So do I think that protective magic or protective actions are a good thing to cast, a good thing to do, even if you don't have anything specifically protecting yourself from? Absolutely. Let me tell you, it's a lot easier to protect yourself than later to have to, you know, go to all sorts of measures to get rid of something that you could have protected yourself from in the first place. So for this series, I also want to mention that as we are dealing here with protection, you kind of also irrevocably are talking about good magic and bad magic. So you might have heard it as white magic and black magic, and with an in-between being gray magic. However, I will, in this video and in the videos to come, will be referring to it as higher or lower magic, or as good and bad, or good and negative. Seeing that calling it white magic or black magic could potentially carry on a misleading sense to it, so I would rather avoid any of that. And the terminology white and black magic is becoming more and more outdated for several reasons. Another thing I want to mention, in case you are new, in case you haven't seen my Wicca 101 video, Wiccans do not believe in Satan or the devil or demons or any of that kind. Wiccans do usually agree that there's good and bad, that there's this duality that is often described as a circle. So you would have the good and the negative, and in between you would have that medium kind of, you know, very, very middle ground wiggle space sort of area. So in terms of protection, we would want to protect ourselves from that lower or negative kind of energy. This can come in different forms. So it can simply be an accumulation of negative energy. It can be within a place, from previous negative encounters, or from people, from objects. It can come in all sorts of versions, but in the end of the day, we're trying to protect ourselves from negativity. So while in Wicca it is accepted, generally speaking, that Wiccans do no harm, hence sometimes a confusion arises with protection, as if you're not doing any harm, then why would you be attracting any negative energy? Especially if you believe that we have a mirroring kind of relationship to the universe and to our environment, meaning that whatever you send out comes back to you. What you are is what you attract. We are essentially magnets. However, that does not mean that we don't still have a little bit of fear, a little bit of anxiety perhaps, or once again, as I have previously mentioned, as a preventative method to make sure that, you know, we're on the safe side. So I now hope that you kind of understood where I'm going with this entire protection thing, and we can now begin talking about how to cast a circle. In Wicca, one of the earliest forms of protection that you will encounter is casting a circle. This is essential for doing spell work, doing rituals, and you can even cast a circle for little things such as meditation or, you know, journaling, writing in your book of shadows. It's really up to you. However, it is recommended to cast a circle if you are about to have any kind of spell work that you're going to be doing, or if you're having a ritual. When you cast a circle, you create a sort of energy shield around you. Imagine it like a bubble, or maybe even that you're sitting inside a disco ball and you're reflecting anything away from you, not entering the circle. So casting a circle is actually very, very simple. There are more elaborate ways to cast a circle. This is especially true if you are part of a coven. You would most definitely have a lot more steps to casting a circle. But for this video, I will be going over the more basic one, which is, you know, beginner friendly, but also very, very adjustable. This is still something that even an advanced Wiccan can take and adjust to their liking, as I will briefly explain later on. So the first step is to cleanse yourself and cleanse your space. And I mean this literally as well as mentally. So mentally, you might want to make yourself a cup of tea, or you might want to meditate a little bit beforehand already, or you might want to start listening to some music that is getting you into a more calm kind of state of mind. You will also want to vacuum the space around you, clean the space around you, and make sure that there's no dust, that there's no dirt, that there's no clothing pieces lying around. And you would also want to shower yourself or bathe yourself. You can also use things such as Florida water to cleanse your area. You can use different types of herbs or incense sticks to cleanse your area, or you can just use your intention. You really don't need any tools for this. That's really just, if you want to go that extra step, you can really just use your intention as well. In that case, it's very simple. You would simply envision a light surrounding you and your space, and that light is shining brighter and brighter until you feel that everything in you and everything around you is full of this beautiful white light. So this is really important. Once you have cleansed yourself and your space, you need to assemble all of your tools, if you're using any, to be around you so that you are not going to leave the circle once you have cast the circle. So if you need a lighter, go get the lighter. If you need a pen and paper, make sure that you have the pen and paper with you. And also keep your phone on flight mode or silent. You don't want your phone anywhere near you when you are spellcasting or working your rituals or meditating. Keep your phone out of your room. And if you have any kind of distractions around the house, you know, for example, a partner, a child, or pets or anything like that, make sure that you are completely in a space where there won't be any distractions. It is important to not exit your circle once you have cast your circle, as there might be energies floating in and out. You don't necessarily want that. Some people would even say that it is disrespectful in some regard to the elements and to the deities that you have called into your circle, as you're kind of making them wait for you. So just keep that in mind. Now to the actual circle casting. Stand in the middle of wherever you are casting your circle and face east. If you are working with an altar, once again you would be facing east. You're not necessarily facing the altar at this moment, you're facing east. And if you're not working with an altar and you're just completely, you know, maybe in nature or something like that, make sure you're facing east. So you can use an athame or a wand to cast your circle, but honestly your hands and your fingers work just fine. You don't need any tools. Once again, tools are just that extra step. Point to the ground and in your own words, announce that you are beginning to cast your circle now. And invite into your circle the element of east. That would be air. Then with your hand or your tool, draw a half circle to the next element. We're going now south. We're inviting the south, we're inviting fire into our circle. Once again, you, in your own words, greet the element, speak a few words perhaps, for example, you know, air, please cleanse my circle, make sure that I am protected. Fire, please cleanse the circle, make sure that I am protected. That sort of thing. You can make it rhyme, you can make it really elaborate, or you can keep it simple. Then from fire, we're going to the west. We're going to invite water into our circle, and once again speak a few words, invite this element into your circle, and then we are heading north. That's our last element. And once again, you're inviting this element into your circle, you're inviting earth into your circle, and then once that is done, you will point upwards above your head, and you can even look above if you want to, and you will be inviting the spirit, your higher self, the god and the goddess, different deities that you're working with for this particular occasion, whatever you want to call it, the universal energies. You're basically inviting that spirit essence into your circle now. So now your circle is cast, and that is when you can begin your spell. So you can now go ahead, spell cast, or you can work your ritual or meditate or whatever you really would like to do in your circle. It's up to you, obviously. So you're done with your spell or ritual or whatever, you will be closing the circle. Now the first step is to thank whoever you invited in. So your deities, your higher self, you know, the universal energies, doesn't matter. You will be thanking them for having been here with you, for protecting you, and you will clearly state that you are releasing that energy now. Then we are facing north, and now counterclockwise we will be going from direction to direction, and we will be thanking that element, we will be thanking that direction for having been here with us, for protecting us, and once again we will say, thank you, I release you. So that is relatively important within most kind of spirit work or energy work, to make sure that you, when you invite something in, that you release it again. You don't necessarily want that energy to be around you all the time. That could turn out being draining, it could turn out being too much energy at once for you. So make sure if you invite anything in, that you also release it. And that is really it for circle casting. And of course, as I previously mentioned, you can make it as elaborate as you want. You can use salt to draw your circle. You can use seashells or flowers or stones. I have even seen candles being used. Obviously with candles, be cautious with, you know, fire and everything. So as long as you're safe, you can really go as elaborate or as classic as you would like with your circle casting. So with circle casting in particular, the idea is really just to create a safe space for you. You want to create a little area where you can focus. So when you're casting that circle, you are essentially creating something around you, like a shield, as I said earlier, that not only are your energy staying with you in that circle and not just floating about, but you're also not letting anything in. Because when we're working magic, it's like we're turning on a light bulb, and sometimes moths can be attracted to such light bulbs. So that's why casting a circle and being preventative and using protection is really detrimental. So I hope I have kind of, you know, cleared some things up for you a little bit. I hope this video was somewhat helpful, somewhat useful. Let me know if you like this video. I will definitely be doing more within this mini-series, so keep an eye out for that. If you would like to follow me on Instagram or my other socials, I have everything, including my crystal shop, in the description box. A little side note about my crystal and witchcraft shop. It is currently on vacation mode due to the entire situation. I'm not yet entirely sure when it will be up, but hopefully soon. We'll see, I guess. If you did like this video, then please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. So guys, everyone, I hope you're staying safe and wishing you all the best. Blessed be.